Hello. So this is my temporary enclosure for Pierogi, and this is my little treatise on what not to buy from a reptile expo. So this is Pierogi, my Kenyan sand boa, supposedly proven breeder who's less than 300 grams. There's her heat lamp. I'm going to turn it off for the day because it's late. And I am too lazy to actually set the timer because I'm dumb. Anyway, set back where it goes. She is a very special girl. I bought her from the Columbus, Ohio Expo in Hilliard, which they have once a month. It is an excellent expo. I bought a couple things there. This is the first one that has had problems for me, but that's just how it goes. There's her UVB. It is, I forget what it's called, but it's basically the bird UVB that is safe for such an incredibly short depth. Usually UVB, you do 10, 12, plus 14 inches. But this is safe for a really low depth. And this is a Kenyan sand boa. They're fossorial. So you're going to see that there's not a lot going on in this enclosure. There's a water dish of a decent size that if the stars aligned and for some reason she wanted to soak in it, she could, which I don't think they ever do. And there's her humid hide, which is still decently damp. It needs straightened up here soon. Here's a little climbing structure for her. This got buried, but she does have a warm hide. Of course, she doesn't use it. She just buries underneath the substrate. But, I don't know how this got buried. Anyway. Yeah, so this is my Kenyan sand boa. I was looking for a breeder female because I have about 6 females, and they're all way too small to breed. So I was looking for something that I actually could breed this year or next year, whereas everybody else is going to have to wait like 3 years. And this is Pierogi. She is an Annery stripe. Het for snow, I believe. She is very friendly, very sweet. When I took her out of the enclosure at the expo, she immediately crawled up on my head and licked my nose. So I was like, okay, that's my snake. I don't know what to tell you. That's my snake. I can't do anything about it. I love her. She's perfect. But when I got her, she was insanely floppy. So, like, you'd pick her up and she would just have absolutely no muscle tone, whereas now you can see she's, sorry, Pierogi, I don't mean to abuse you like that. She is figuring herself out and gripping me. Before, it was like holding a wet sock. Okay, and she had a little burbling coming out of her nose, so I knew that she wasn't 100%. I knew that the guy wanted $250, and I was like, well, she chose me, I can't say no. She put her freaking little head on my head, licked my nose. That's my girl. Can't say no. Love her to death. So I bought her. I paid the extra because I had to use the ATM because they wouldn't take Cash App because they were dumb. I paid the extra like $9, I think, because I had to do a bunch of separate transactions. And I bought the baby. And within about 3 weeks, I noticed that she was wheezing. And she was opening her mouth a lot, almost like she was yawning, but clearly she was trying to breathe. Poor baby. So I took her to the vet. And in Columbus, really the only verified reptile vet is at MedVet, which is an emergency vet. So every visit has an extra like $100 tacked to it. It was very expensive. The guy was like, yeah, see, she was doing that constantly. The guy, or the vet, was like, I am worried about her. She's really floppy. She's not breathing well. She can't hold herself up, So we took x-rays. We did a physical exam. We got the extra shed out of her nose. See, she still has problems, even after all that. And he was like, okay, so she definitely has a respiratory infection. Her bones are super, super low on calcium. I want you to start feeding a whole prey diet, adult prey diet. Obviously, she was eating whole prey because she's a snake. So he suspected that for her entire life, look at this snake. For her entire life, she'd eaten pinky mice. That is his best guess at what happened for the most part. She was eating only pinky mice for her whole life. Okay, and supposedly this snake has been bred. Usually you don't breed them till, Kenyan Sambos, till a minimum of 300 grams, upwards of 600 grams. So 350 to 600, and she is about 268. Now the vet did think she's obese. I don't see that, but the x-rays did show a ridiculous amount of fat and very little bone density. So basically she's all fat, no calcium. So I've been careful to give her adult prey, so adult mice or fairly well-developed quail, and I also dust them in calcium powder without D3. Another of his recommendations was to give her a UVB bulb at all times, and he directed me to their website. Here you go, sweetheart. I'm gonna have to redo her water. Here you go, baby. You wanna come out? Oh, you're not done, are you? Hi, sweetheart. I know. You love to be held. So UVB for the rest of her life, which is why she's not in the rack like the rest of my Kenyan Sambos. She's in this smallish, well, I mean, it's bigger than the rack enclosure with UVB and a heat lamp, where there's the other ones have heat cable. Best practice, by the way, for all snakes is UVB and a heat lamp. If I could give that to all my Kenyan Sambos, I would. The other ones don't have any issues. Their bones are fine. They have excellent muscle tone. This girl has only recently developed her muscle tone. Before, when I got her, she would not be able to hold on to me like this. Period. She would not be able to lift her head like that. It was like holding a wet sock. She would just flop over me. It was so sad. And I knew that when I picked her out at the expo to hold her, I knew she wasn't well, but she chose me, so I had no choice. Hey, baby. And unfortunately, she is a breeding size, but until maybe 1 to 5 years down the road, that I can be sure her... No, please don't drink that. It's got aspen bedding in it, sweetheart. Don't drink that, okay? I'll get you fresh. Until I'm sure that her muscle tone and her calcium is back to what it should be, I really can't justify breeding her. She may never be bred. It's very possible. But she's so sweet that I really don't care. She makes a fantastic pet. Look at that cutie. Which I did get her because of the genes. I saw her. She was the last thing I saw at the expo. I was about to leave, and then I saw, oh my god, inner stripe. Het snow. Oh my god, I have this, that, and that. The other. So she would be perfect to breed, but I may never breed her. And that's fine. I will keep her for the rest of her life, however long that may be. Because I love her and she chose me. And I paid $900 on her vet bill just to figure out what was wrong with her. And if she starts having respiratory symptoms again, which my vet seems to expect to be something she's gonna deal with for the rest of her life, then that'll be another $900 to $3,000 vet bill for a $250 snake, which, proven breeder or not, is way overpriced. But yeah, this is just a kind of a cautionary tale. No matter how much you love them, if you go to an expo and the snake has burbling out their nostrils, is limp, has any kind of weird respiratory stuff, anything at all, do not buy the snake. Okay, do not buy the snake. Pierogi has cost me a lot of money and a lot of stress and a lot of freaking sick time. I had to take sick time off work for her. I had to take vacation time. Because vet stuff, snake pet stuff, is not covered under sick time. So I had to take vacation time. And it ended up taking like 3 times longer than expected because they were sitting there trying to get the old sheds off her nose. And by the way, digging her out of her enclosure is just... It seems mean, but that's how Kenyan Sambos are. They're fossorial species. Fossorial meaning spends most of their time underground, or under the earth. They are burrowers. Oh my god, do not drink that. She keeps going over to it. She's thirsty. Got some old sheds in here I gotta take out. Yeah. Do not buy a snake that appears sick, no matter how much you want to rescue it, because it is not worth your money. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Pierogi. She's very special to me. And she's very sweet, even though she did bite me once, because we skipped a week of feeding. She's a great feeder. She loves food. And I stuck my hand in here just like this, right in front of her face, and she was like, oh my god, a rat. Or, oh my god, a mouse. And then she let go, and she looked at me like, I don't know what that was, but it was yucky. Because that's snakes. Snakes are not very smart. And Kenyan sand boas don't bite. Like, I was so surprised that even as a food response, she bit me. They're very sweet, docile, silly, goofy little sock puppet animals. You know what I mean? Regardless. Yeah, if you go to an expo and a snake has a bunch of weird symptoms and you pick up on it, it doesn't matter if you held it and bonded with it. It doesn't matter if you feel bad for saying no because the seller let you hold it, and they usually don't let anybody hold the snake unless they're going to buy it. Just say no. You don't have... Somebody else will come across the snake. Don't worry, I'm gonna change that out. That's gross. Perils of using aspen bedding. Somebody else will come across a snake, and they will have the same bleeding heart you do, and they will take it. Somebody with more money, they will take it, and they will take care of it. I guess in this situation, I was the one with more money, because I happen to have a little bit saved from... I had money saved up for moving apartments, and I just moved, so I still had a little bit saved up. And I was like, okay, I gotta take care of this girl. She's so freaking sweet. But yeah, many years down the line, perhaps, or the vet did say that she had a little bit of reproduction stuff going on inside of her that might have meant nothing, might lead to a clutch, meaning she'd probably already been bred before I got her. I'm pretty sure that the seller realized she was sick after breeding her and was like, I'm gonna get my money back. Anyway, she might end up with a clutch in another, 3 months or so, just out of the blue. If not, it'll be probably another 3 years before I even try to breed her. So if you keep following this channel for the next couple years, you might see little baby pierogi babies with dumpling-themed names. But you might not, and you will see updates on her, because she's just the sweetest girl. Thank you for watching. This is the Clementron, and goodbye. Have a good weekend.